And girls, this is Jerningham here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of tensions between Russia and Poland, which will be soon. I'm sorry if the phone's a bit dirty. I've just took a bit of dust off the phone to actually explain about this. Poland don't like Russia. Probably Russia don't like Poland. But the thing is, I do think it'd be very stupid. I mean, at first, we've got to think about that Ukraine have got to go through. Well, Ukraine will probably protect the Polish people, but the Russians have got to go through Ukraine to get to Poland, haven't they? So I don't think the Ukrainians are going to make it easy for the Russians to get through. But why would you? Because it's a Ukrainian country. It's where they love to be. They've got family and friends there. They've been brought up there. That's their home. That's their lifestyle. For Russia to come along and take Ukraine and destroy it upsets a lot of people. Because, say, like if I was in America and another country invaded, you'd be very upset, wouldn't you? It's like England as well, and Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Australia, and plenty of other countries in the world. If you invade there, they'd be very upset because it's where you're born, it's where your home is, it's where your heart is. But why I'm doing this video is to explain to you all. Fair enough, some of you may not fight. It's fair enough, you don't want to fight, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Any country could invade anywhere, but the thing is, which country's at war at the minute? I mean, Russia seem to want to be at war with every country at the moment. Except China is on Russia's side. Will China start backing Russia? If Russia loses troops, would Chinese be called into Russia? I mean, Ukraine, I don't think that'll happen, but I think the Chinese keep out of things, don't they? What about Japan? And many other countries like India? Remember the war in Iraq and Afghanistan? But this is a different type of war. Putin will not stop there. If he goes through Poland, World War III happens. Nukes happen. Boots on the ground. And some of you guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, say you don't want to go to war. Well, sometimes either you go and fight your country, or you go into a concentration camp like you did in 1941? 1949? I don't know. Back in the old days of World War I, World War II, you'd either fight or be put in a camp. So I know what I'd pick. I'd rather fight because you get to see the world as well. And even though it's boring fighting, some people may think, you could go other places. You don't be locked up. You can go where you want to go unless you kill the enemy. So, there's a lot of tensions between them paths at the moment, and lots of Americans are scared volunteers that are actually joined into Ukrainian army. So British and probably Polish people have joined volunteers. And there's a lot of Ukrainians that have died, Russians that have died, more Ukrainians putting up a good fight. So, moving on from that, this is what we've got to try and think about. Some people say you may not make it home. It may be your last days of supper. Talk to your friends and colleagues and allies. You never see your friends or family again. Some people don't mind that, but some people know it's going to happen. But what concerns me and worries me across the world, that this trouble will come to the UK. Even though you can join the Ukrainian army in the UK if you want to. I think it's 60 to... Is it 18 to 60 you're fighting there? Or I've got that wrong. But not everyone's going to fight. I mean, if your friends and family, you've got to protect them. How would they feel? What would they do? Would they sit back and let it happen? They come through your door, you deal with them. Regardless of the law, they do the same thing. So, this is what's going to happen. Is basically, Russia will probably push through Ukraine, or Ukraine may back them off. It could go either way. Russia could go a different way through Ukraine and get to Poland. Poland could fight them, or Poland army could actually stand up a good fight and actually fight them out, and bring in some of the Americans to help them in NATO. And the British may join, like us. And I don't know about Australia and New Zealand and... what other country are we talking about? Australia, New Zealand... there's a country I've missed out. I'll think of it when it comes to me. But let's see if my phone's still filming. Yep, we've been talking about this for 4 minutes. Like I say, it's hard to know. I mean, Macron, the French president, doesn't like what's going on. Probably the German lady, Merkel, whatever her name is, don't like it either. But the Germans are sending guns to Ukraine. The Americans are sending guns to Ukraine. The British are sending guns to Ukraine. I don't know about Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. They could be sending guns to Ukraine. Australia is definitely sending guns to Ukraine. But it's probably like piss in the wind for President Putin. He doesn't care what we think. So, like I say, this is the time for joking around. This is people's lives we're talking about here. Friends and family, people that are never going to be seen again. You know, they should stay in their own area and stop causing all the trouble. If Putin wants the war to stop the war. If the Ukrainian wants it to stop it, you know what I mean? One of these days, Putin will run out of soldiers and he'll have to surrender. For a small country, for Ukraine, they're putting up a big fight. Russia's a massive country, more soldiers. But Ukrainians have hurt a lot of Russian soldiers. I mean, fair play to them. And some of the Americans like Ukrainians. You know, the class them as brothers, comrades and allies, if you want to call them that. You know, they say, the Russians come through, we shoot them. Is Russia and Ukraine similar speaking? It could be. It could be one part of the map of Russia and Ukraine. It's on the same area. It's like Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales in England. Like fighting. History, isn't it? So NATO is a big place. It really is a big place, NATO. Some of these ideas I get from myself. Other ideas I look on YouTube and put them into my words. Some people are saying from the war in Ukraine this will go nuclear. France 21 English News is saying the same thing. What could you think? Or could Putin be Russians? What's driving the invasion? Just a minute, I've got a sore throat. I'm finding these ideas up from other things, looking at other videos. Russia could attack Ukraine, which it did. US, NATO. Macron's already spoken to Putin. Doesn't work. Zelensky's still talking about France giving... I think French do give the guns to the Ukrainians. Don't know about China. China and Russia are still talking about things with Obama. Got itchy head. That's all I can really say in this video, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, I better go. Thank you for all joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy, peace. And tell me what you think about this. Am I right or am I wrong?